Welcome back to Sheffield then, as we have the first final of the weekend. It's the under-16s, where we will have the champions of the north, the Whitley Bay Beacons, and the champions of the south, the Ice Bees. I'm Adam Mackman, and joining me for this one is Richard Rambo Gray. Rambo, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this final. The two semis were really good in this competition, so looking forward to seeing how it ends.
Indeed, it's a cacophony of noise in here, isn't there? It's so loud. Looking at the Beacons lineup, we know, without really having to refer to it, but Evie Tyndale setting records all over this year. She is the one to look out for on the Whitley Bay Beacons, although she is pointless after you predicted she would get 20 points this weekend, which I am going to call you out on.
I think I may have jinxed Evie, and I do apologise to the Tyndales and the Dunn family for that, as well as the whole Whitley Bay organisation. But I don't think she'll stay pointless for the whole weekend. I think we're going to see something special here from her.
And for the Ice Bees, they've got a number of experienced players here, notably led by Grace Riley, who plays for the Queen Bees. But it's Heidi Dunn then, to her cousin Tyndale, and already starting off at a tremendous pace. And it's Tyndale leading the charge, gets a shot off. It's a good save as Abigail Ransom comes out of her net to deal with it. That one comes through. Ransom will turn it aside again. Marley Fraser, who got the scoring underway across the whole playoff weekend yesterday, set the Beacons on for that 4-2 win against the Rattlesnakes. And it's Marley Fraser again. Oh, and it hit the top of her bar and went over. She very nearly repeated the trick from yesterday.
That was really good ability in young players. You don't always see it in Britain, where they not to overhandle that in that situation there. I think that was just offside.
Yeah, it was. It crept over. Got a replay here of the goal, of the attempted goal.
Just takes it and then gets it immediately in the shooting position. And a lot of young players would take an extra handle on that, but she got that off quick.
Yeah, we've got a line for the players with red helmets here.
Maybe that's how they sort of decide who's going on.
Yeah. Well, a lot of teams do that, don't they? They have the warm-up jerseys or a practice sort of bibs, don't they, in jerseys? And it's carried in. I mean, a couple of the girls here were just literally on the ice 15 minutes ago with the Beacons Div 2 side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle that, coming from sort of an emotional, narrow loss to coming right into a final for their under-16s team.
Yeah.
But they're definitely high-quality players. That is always going to be a penalty there. A little bit afters in the play there.
Yeah, is that Rebecca Goldring?
Yeah. Yeah,
she was one of the players who played in that last game. So maybe she does have her feet might be aching a little bit, wanted a bit of a wee rest. But joking aside, it was a clash of sticks, and then it was a couple of little digs, wasn't it? That was a little bit naughty, but you can understand why we've called the penalty, certainly.
The coach inquiring as to what is being called.
Well, yeah, it was a couple of cross checks in and around the head area, wasn't it? So, we'll hear it now before we get the restart.
2 minutes for a check to the head.
Yeah, check to the head.
2 minutes for check to the head.
That's in some ways lucky that it isn't more than that, because I've seen much harsher penalties given than that. Certainly. We have the inflatable dancing bee over on the far side.
There's a lot of inflatables here this weekend.
Yes, there is. There's cats, there's vixens or foxes, and dogs and bears and all sorts. So, and I believe a seagull representing Whitley Bay before, which was Isabel Johnson's dad. But anyway, that one, nice centering pass. It's Beacons get it away, lashed from distance.
That was like one of my drives there. Oh, well, one of my better drives there, maybe. Might not talk up my golf game too much.
Good all controls. Rides a challenge, comes back from a deep position. That nice cut back over on that far side. It'll be controlled by Amelia Strachan-Jones. Kick save, comes back out. Oh, and then again, bit of pushing and shoving. It's Holly Smith. Not happy about something. She's just...
No call. I don't think there's any call.
No, she just sort of whacked the stick away, and we'll get a replay of it here, but it's a little bit testy early on, isn't it, between both sides? I guess there's a lot on the line, isn't there, of course, but...
Well, as we talked about for Whitley, this might feel like a sort of last chance saloon for them.
Well, it is. Let's not dress it up, Rambo. Yeah. It is for the 16s, because half the team won't be here next season, and it's the experienced half. And there was last year when they had a good chance of winning it and came up just that little bit short. So, but they always knew they had this season in reserve, if you like, for a second chance. There isn't a third chance next year, and they're going to have to really go all out to try and win this year. As Poppy Skelton, again, one of the players who just played before, trying to dangle out. Fatchik, though, bringing that energy, breaking the play up. It's a good shift from her. That puck will just about make it across the line. Goodall fires back in. Good two-way player. She is a D, but we've seen her play in a forward position as well yesterday in the semi-final win over D side, and that was a much closer game than I think perhaps we were expecting, because the top team in the south against the second team in the north.
Yeah, that was the closest game yesterday out of all of them, and it was, D side with good value for being in this playoff tournament.
Indeed, yeah. Fatchik with that shot, which wasn't off by much. Beacon's back to full strength now, but they need to stay out the box, don't they, really?
Yeah, you're not going to win a game if you're on the kill all the time. Maybe just a little bit of emotional penalty as well. As I say, very tough game before it as well. So
Duffy with a wonderful, just to interrupt you there, Rambo, Duffy with a wonderful little play and dangle there before to set up that play. Now his gold ring after she's been arrested in the box. Cleared. Mitchell will drop back. She's been a good addition this year, coming in from Scotland, another one of the players from over the border. And she's a player you probably know more about than I do, Rambo, given that you are based up in Scotland and follow the game a lot more closely.
Well, she obviously was in the Iron Maidens last year as well, and she can play quite an offensive game.
Yeah, it's Strachan Jones.
Yeah.
Good play though by Holly Smith, stood her up nicely. Holly again getting away. This time it's Holly Walker shrugs off that challenge. Now she'll carry it in the middle of a change here, so it was a little bit tentative entry into a draw. I think they only into the zone rather. They only had a couple of forwards there up with the play as they're looking to get the counter on. And this Ice Beast side look hungry, don't they? They don't seem nervous of playing a team that's been as strong as Whitley and had such a strong season.
They don't look phased by Whitley whatsoever, which is, makes for a good game, I think.
It does. It certainly does. Evie Tyndale, who's going to drive towards goal, gets a shot off. But excellent save there by Abigail Ransom. Just before we go back to this one, did you manage to watch those two games before, Rambo? What was your thoughts on them in the Div 2?
I thought they were really, really good games. I actually thought at times Whitley really took the game to Haringey. Were unlucky not to get that equaliser, and then certainly the other game going to penalty shots wasn't the one of the two that I thought would go to penalty shots, as we know.
No.
Really good close games. They were a little bit cagey at times, but I think both teams it's going to be a good final tomorrow.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, it really will. Tyndale with a chance there again before, but what amazed me was just how close the four teams were, and as you say, that should lend itself into a final tomorrow. Tyndale will control nicely behind the back of the net. Still with Tyndale. So difficult to get off the puck. Splits a D.
Oh, there we go.
And that has broken the deadlock. Just over 6 minutes played then, and Evie Tyndale has her first point. Just 19 to go now, Rambo.
And for anyone that maybe hasn't listened to the podcast, this is not me being disparaging to the Ice Beast. She has played for 3 teams across the weekend.
She has. Just before we move on to that, we'll have a look at the replay here. it was all her own work, really held on to it, dangled past 2 players, cut inside, and then past a third, and then shot with Duval stood in front of the goalie as well, Ransom. So
that was incredible. The edge work is what is the most impressive about Evie Tyndale. Molly Walker was just a few feet offside there.
Just a 3.
She's shaking her head. I hope it herself and not the linesman in that situation.
Yeah, but just going back to what you said, Rambo, about in the podcast, it was the fact that she played on 3 teams with up to 6 games. She will play in 5 this weekend. And you said it wouldn't be inconceivable that she could hit 20 points this weekend, which you're quite right. It works out about 4 or 5 points a game, which you can easily do. But famously yesterday, she didn't score a goal. So it was just quite amusing, because on a normal weekend that would be quite possible for Evie to achieve.
Yeah, certainly. But I think one thing to consider is I don't think Evie will care what the stat sheets say. As long as they have a under 16 championship next to her for this year. So
absolutely, yeah. And whilst you say yes, some of the girls who played in that Div 2 loss just before will be disappointed. They, in many ways, this is the bigger game because it's a championship game. It would all, regardless if they'd won today, the Div 2 team, it would have been, just as tough tomorrow in the final. So this is a chance for them to win something after a project of 4 or 5 years for some of them, as the ISBs looking to get away. This is their first year at the playoffs, the ISBs, after being close and being a top 4 side for the last few years. And Tyndale shoots again, but her shot is deflected away. And since killing off that penalty, Beacons have had a lot of offensive zone time, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. And Evie seems to have hit her straps a little bit as well, which is, you can see the sort of uptick in her pace now.
Yeah. Fatchik did well to steal it off of her. Excellent play from her. I'm really impressed with her, actually. She's watched her at the Bristol tournament last year. That's the first time I saw her, but every game she just seems to find an extra level, improves all the time.
I really like the balance on this forward line for Whitley here. You've got as we talked yesterday, the sandpaper and Poppy Skelton, and then Fraser, it seems a bit like the bit of the poacher in the line. And with that goal yesterday, it was kind of a poacher's goal. So I mean, it's a nice balance, and Evie that can play playmaker or goal scorer. So
indeed, and you're right. It has got a little bit of everything. It's a very good top line, and when you add Heidi Dunn to that as well on the D. 3 of those 4 will age out across in the summer, so but we shall see what happens. I did speak to Poppy's dad, and he loved the comments about the sandpaper. He thought it was an excellent description. So that one just going wide from Poppy Skelton there, as we were just talking about her. And ISB's doing well though, with trying to keep their shape and make life difficult for the Beacons. They will clear a zone on this occasion, but we've got some smaller players, which you would assume they are younger. But it bodes well for them, doesn't it? But they've got this first appearance at the playoffs, and they can build something maybe for next year. And regardless of the outcome of this game, they could be a team to look out for in the South.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, actually, in one view, getting into the playoffs in under 16s level is harder than Div 2, even Elite. I mean, you're 4 of 6 teams in Elite League. There's 9 teams in the north and 7 in the south. So, you can be proud of. I mean, you won the league. You can be very, very proud of that. And then you're playing a team that's been here before.
Yeah, that's right. And certainly in the south, it was only 2 of 4, and 2 very good teams have not made it this weekend. Bristol, who were at the semi-final stage last year, and have Mission McBean have missed out, and that was almost unthinkable at the start of the season, as that one comes in. With strong glove there from Peyton Carnison.
That was a tough one to just,
the angle as well that it came in at.
It was a low percentage shot, but the way it came in is quite a... Peyton did well to stay on it.
Yeah, tight angle, fierce drive, and the height as well, and she needed to have a strong glove there, and she did. But it was a good effort for the ISBs, and they get an offensive zone face-off, and a bit of respite for a first time in a few minutes as well, as Draken Jones ripples the outside of the net. That was close, though. A reminder that there are 2 teams in this final, and that the Ice Bees are going to make life difficult for Whitley. It's just a 1-goal game at the moment, as players ended up in the back of the net. You don't get a goal for that, but she's quickly getting out of the way of that, as Whitley are going to carry out with Emily Duffy, and we scored her score a couple of beauties yesterday. Molly Walker. Now Lydia Beddoes to Walker. Nicely controlled by the Ice Bees, and it was Wheeler. Heidi Dunn on the far side, strong defending there, just easing her opponents up along the boards and forcing the turnover. Now Duffy will carry in, slap shot. Thought she was going to fake at first, but then it was a bit of a delayed release, but it not far off target.
Whitley are doing well at pressing the zone and really creating pressure. You keep even just holding the zone. That's all it puts a team off so much if you can't get over the blue line and make them regroup.
Yeah, Tyndale setting up the play for Poppy Skelton. It's sort of got caught up amongst a bunch of players there in the low slot. It was, yeah, shot from distance from Heidi Dunn. Evie turning one way and the next. Drop pass as well to Skelton. Now Dunn winds one up. Oh, just fell behind Poppy Skelton there, and then Tyndale, it's a block shot. Comes back to Skelton again, looking for that redirect. India Bryan.
And scramble there.
It was, yeah, frantic stuff. But tell you what, Amelia Ransom earning her corn there, wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, that was incredible. This is a really good shot from the point here. It comes through traffic. She tracks it all the way in. So Poppy, you kind of maybe wish Poppy was a left-hander if you were a Whitley fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Then the scramble, I think you can maybe see it from that angle, but it certainly can only be a couple inches away from going over the line.
Such fine margins. That was a late change there. And Catherine Mitchell controlling. Up to Fatchik, who steals that one back. As I say, she's been very prominent in it in this game so far. Nice work from Tyndale, though, getting back. And whilst she didn't get particularly the points yesterday, we did say she was responsible as much as anyone for that back check and poke check right at the end, when she denied the Rattlesnakes from making it 4-3 at a crucial part in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes those plays are just as big as the goals. I see the sniper's been out in full effect this morning. There's been a few blown tyres, to say the least. Yeah,
Tyndale controls nicely. Still with the leading scorer, the record all-time point scorer at under 16s level, worth repeating. And to put it into context, the person she beat was my previous commentator on the last game, Louise Adams, who is the current GB captain. So for anyone to take the mantle off Louise, I think it's in safe hands, isn't it?
Pretty much. I mean, I think when the 3-on-3 rosters came out, they referred to Louise as the GOAT and saying that Ireland had the GOAT in their team, and she's an incredible player, and even if Evie was tied with her, it's great company to have, but to beat the record is it's no mean feat.
It is, as Amelia Draken-Jones not going to get the break on here. Holly Smith doing a good job of just tying her up a bit and then moving the puck away as a scramble up along the boards. And now Emily Duffy, who's done very well at carrying the puck out the zone and up the ice in this game early on.
So strong, such a strong player. You can't really just muscle Emily off the puck.
No, she's very strong on the puck. Molly Walker, in one way or the next. That's good set-up play as well. Big rebound, and then Duffy again, but another good save by Ransom, who's really putting in a great performance so far.
Yeah, I would say that Whitley have definitely had more of the clear-cut chances, and Ransom's really tied them down.
Well, Beacons probably could have had at least 2 more goals, couldn't they, on the chances that they've had?
Yeah, and that was a brilliant back check from Heidi Dunn, because that was in that area for the goalie where you don't know if you want to come out and try and cover it up or poke check it away, or stay in your net.
Indeed, Strachan Jones, nice hands from her, and then the shot from Grace Riley, nice kick save from Peyton Carnison.
The one thing the Ice Bees are doing quite well when they do get in the zone is they're trying to get the puck away early, which is obviously quite difficult for Peyton, because they're kind of creating these sort of turnover chances a little bit by forcing the play, which is meaning that Carnison's not got any chance to set up really, so she's having to react very quickly, which she's done well so far. But if they keep going like that, I don't think this will be a 1-0 finish. No,
not at all. I mean, you know Peyton Carnison well. You had her at the Iron Maidens last season, so tell us a little bit more about her. What style of goalie is she? Because we've not seen a great deal, because Whitley haven't given up a lot of scoring opportunities through the season. We've not really, yes, she's made some saves, but we've not seen a great deal of action from her. She's
a very good pure shot stopper. It's normally you're going to beat her with traffic or a rebound. She's very good at getting her body and pads behind the puck. She can react well. So yeah, it's hard to say stylistically. I would say is most definitely more in the butterfly mould, but certainly very good pure shot stopper. And you do have to be extremely lucky to score in the first shot on her.
Yeah, Tyndale with that effort before couldn't really get enough lift up on the shot. It was straight into her pads. Oh, it's caught between Popper Skelton's feet there, but it was right at the end of a period, so it would be harsh if you was to call a penalty then, because it was...
Well, the player didn't come on nice.
So that's true.
There's no penalty for just opening a door.
The Ice Bees were sort of pointing as if to say, well, look what she's doing, but as you say, there wasn't a player coming on.
I mean, as Ice Bees coach, you're going to ask for whatever gives you an advantage, right? If the referee calls it, then that's fine. That was not a penalty in that situation. Nobody had come on nice for her, and also would have been quite harsh because they played it directly into her feet as well. So
So we'll take a short break at that point. We'll be back with you in around 5 minutes' time. So please don't go anywhere. Welcome back then to Sheffield as we start the second period, and straight away it's Evie Tyndale driving towards goal, forcing a save out of Abigail Ransom. Nice start.
Yeah, that was a quick burst forward from Evie there.
It was indeed, yeah. As we'll get a face-off in the offensive zone for the Beacons then. Bit of a delay before they drop the puck. But now we will get restarted. Shot comes in, kick save. It was sitting in the low slot, but no Beacons player anywhere near, so that allowed the D to recover and to clear. Heidi Dunn will wind up and carry back in on that far side. Forced wide. It was a vital interception there by the Ice Bees defender. Didn't quite see who that one was, unfortunately, but Mitchell just about keeps it inside. And it was Parker who made that interception, because that was the same player again who cleared it. Now Tyndale will carry back in. Shot comes in, and that one will be covered up by Ransom. But I know they are a lot shorter periods in under 16s, Rambo, but that seemed a very quick first period.
There wasn't a lot of stops in it,
no.
Which made for a fairly short period. Possibly what everyone's maybe hoping for that's running the tournament.
Yes.
With a couple of games taking a little bit longer earlier.
That is true. Shot comes in.
Walker.
Oh, yes.
Right off there. That was a set play. They talked about that position, and you saw Molly sitting right there for Emily to win those draws back to, and she seems pretty assured on the draw, as well as talking about her shot a lot. I think face-off wise, as I say that, she wins it somewhere. She wins it back to Beddoes, but Yeah, she certainly seems assured on the face-offs as well.
Yeah, she does. And again, another excellent save from Abigail Ransom, who has been kept busy in these opening 16, 17 minutes or so of this final. Over on the far side is Molly Walker, but lost sight of a puck for a second there, and that just allowed, I think, Wheeler on that far side to steal in and control. Walker going back the other way. We will, at the conclusion of this game, of course, have the trophy presentation to whoever wins, along with the medals and the caps. But also, Rambo, we have the all-star choices for which we both get a pick. So that's something to consider while we're watching this, and to think of who might we consider in the positions, which we so like doing on the podcast, of course.
Yeah, we enjoy these things.
We do. That one is controlled by Beddoes.
I tell you, it's not going to be easy in the 16s group.
No, not at all. And that one controlled by Strachan-Jones. Emily Duffy, who might well be in contention for forward. Had a very good game yesterday with the goals, and already showing her two-way game today. Certainly would be in consideration.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, you're looking at Emily Duffy. Obviously, it's easy to talk. That's not offset. That is too many. There were 6 on the ice there for the Bees. Must have been some honey in the middle of the ice, and they all gathered there. So,
got to be careful though with these calls. There was a couple in the last game, because it will come back and sting in the tail, won't it? Yeah. So a power play then for the Beacons. That last semi-final, there was a couple of times when Haringey got called for that. It's a frustrating one, isn't it, from a team's point of view, because you never want to have a bench minor, but it happens. It can happen so easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's in that situation. I think it's maybe just miscommunication, something not going on, and it can hurt you. And of course, there was an interest in illegal equipment penalty, which was absolutely on the money, but one of these real frustrating ones where the player was going off. But you have to let go of your stick immediately. Only the goalie can play with a broken stick. So there was a few rules learned, I think, maybe in that game that people weren't as aware of, because I don't think many people are aware of that situation.
Yeah.
I think that bee has light up shoes.
Yeah, it will be. It's Miley Drazy's mum. We saw her yesterday in the Swindon game against your Caledonia team, and she was dancing away. She had little kitten ears on her head, and then when it's queen bees or ice bees or fire bees, indeed, she's in the inflatable bee suit. She was dressed as a bee last year as well, of course. As everyone remembers, she was the dancing bee, and gained a lot of popularity off that from the footage. Really good fun person to have at these playoffs. That's the sort of mentality you got to have. It's all about having fun and supporting your family as well, of course. And why not? Why not get involved in getting dressed up in mascots? It's become quite a good thing over the last couple of years, isn't it?
That was a good pat. Kind of floated that one a little bit, but nice DD pass to set that shot up.
Yeah. Just announcing that too many players call now done, firing it in, and again shot through traffic. Abigail did well to cover up, and that's certainly a player you'd consider for goalie all-star.
Absolutely. So I mean, I think 4 goalies that have been in this tournament.
Yes.
Violet Lennon yesterday.
Lilith Wright, of course, for Chelmsford.
These are 4 elite level under 16s goalies.
Yeah, indeed. As that one comes to Beddoes. Heidi Dunn.
Thought about the 1T there, but
yeah,
probably quite rightly pulled it, because I think they're kind of taking away the shooting line. So
yeah, back to Dunn. Duffy gets a shot off. Wasn't off by much.
I think her snapshot's about as hard as some people's snapshots.
Well, I think it is. Yeah, the power she generates is unreal. That one from distance, big rebound. Again, Abigail putting that in a sensible place where she knew there wasn't a Beacons player. It still blows my mind that goalies can think that quickly about, you know, if it was me, I'd just be happy if I made the stop. But it's like they know exactly, right, I've got to put it in this area where there isn't somewhere where it's a safe place where I'm not going to give up a rebound. And it's impressive and admirable in equal measure.
Because the pads are now designed to kick the rebounds as far away from the net as possible as well, which is but it's different. You can get softer pads, which means you want to cover it more, but goalies favour the harder pads, which means that you can essentially punt the puck away without, you know, when it comes off your pads. So.
Yeah. Did you just used to stick a phone book or yellow pages down your socks when you was a goalie?
My grandpa used cricket pads with newspaper stuff down the back.
Wow. Oh, that'll be painful. As that one comes through, Molly Walker will break the play up and clear a zone. Don't want Emily Duffy trying to catch ball in possession. And Wheeler doing well down this near side, exchanging passes with Strachan Jones. Catherine Mitchell will gather. Forward to Molly Walker. Now Walker will cut through neutral zone into the offensive zone. Needs a bit of support up there with her. Brooke Royce just behind her. Back to the point, it takes a deflection off Grace Riley, I think it was, who was trying to push out. And now back to Holly Smith. Poppy Skelton. Forward to Evie Tyndale. Those two make it look so easy, don't they? That interchange of passes, just slipping the puck from one stick to another, tape to tape. As Tyndale turns, sends it around the boards. Skelton will gather.
You can definitely tell they played together well. You know, Poppy's reacting to just about anything that Evie does. She's finding space. And
yeah, they're so comfortable playing alongside one another. Skelton shoots. Although I think this is the first year they've played on the same line. Traditionally they were on separate lines, but it's just worked really well, this line together this year. I say Poppy's such an unselfish player, as is Evie, so they enjoy setting one another up, I think, equally as it is to scoring goals. So Heidi Dunn will gather. Brooke Royce, who is another one of the 7 players who will age out this year, and she's been there since day one. Seems like she's been there forever in many ways, as that pops up off the netting. We do get a late whistle for that.
I did wonder if they were going to keep going with that.
Yeah, I did first, yeah. It's just a delayed reaction, but Danny Reynolds, I think it was, who blew the whistle. Always good to see Danny here. She previously used to play for the Coventry Phoenix, and well, on another year she might well have been playing, on another day she might have been playing for Coventry today, but she will be wearing the stripes across the weekend. And says she's enjoying officiating more when she is playing now, so which is why she has transitioned across fully to the stripes.
I mean, we can't play this game without the officials, and it's good to see like the commitment level and an all-female crew here as well, which just shows you that there's, you know, a good amount of officials, you know, across the board here, and
yeah, they're staying in my hotel, so I had a good chat with them last night in the bar, and discussing all things hockey, which is always nice, and you get a different perspective as well from how officials will see it compared to a player, compared to like a goalie as well, of course, because they have a different view of it, and obviously fans as well. So it's always nice to hear different people's views. So we got a whistle on the play, puck stopped up along the boards.
Just a board battle there. Puck wasn't moving really, and both teams get a chance to change their lines and go again. Whitley are in a kind of dangerous position here, because as I kind of know from having spoken to my goalies, this is a time where we've not, like Carnson hasn't faced a shot in a considerable amount of game time now, but they're still only just at 1 goal up, so it's you know, not that you want to let your goalie face shots, but they need to be careful defensively that they don't give them any of these quick hits that they did earlier in the game.
Tyndale scores! Wow!
There you go. I think that was an all-family affair, because I think Heidi Dunn got the assist on that one as well.
Yes, she did. I'm pretty sure she did. There's the Whitley fans. Someone's got a squid on their head.
I think is that Heidi's mum that's up there with the squid, or?
I didn't get a good look. I'm not sure. I just saw the squid. It probably is, to be fair. It probably is Kerry, who played on the original Whitley Bay women's team back in the late 80s, which is worth noting, of course. Yeah, that was some shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, that couldn't have been like another inch up, and that was probably going hitting the bar. You know, it was perfectly placed.
Yeah, I've said it many times in commentary, but the Dunn family, it is hockey royalty at Whitley Bay. I say Kerry, one of the first players to play on what was then the Whitley Bay Squaws, the first women's hockey team, which was the precursor to this team before the name changed. And then obviously Heidi's dad is Kerry's brother, played for the Warriors, and then the pair of them had 3 younger brothers who all played for the Warriors. So and of course, as did Evie's dad, Andrew Tyndale. So it is such a huge hockey playing family, and one I've kind of grown up watching throughout the years as well. I seem to remember Kerry coaching the Warriors for a couple of games when Peter Wynne was suspended, and there was a massive bench brawl in Kirkcaldy, so which made the national headlines in the newspaper. So it's not something that she wanted on our watch, of course, but there's a lot of hockey stories there in that family, and Evie, arguably the greatest of the lot, really, in terms of what she's already achieved.
I mean, she's making headlines at this age.
Yes. Yeah. And I know the family's so proud. Parents, grandparents, uncles.
That bee is actually working over there.
Yeah.
Can't see it on the screen quite, but still trying to rouse everyone up. I mean, it's a 2-goal game. They're not out of it by any stretch. We saw yesterday the pressure that Whitley got under when they got to the 4 goals up against Chelmsford. Well,
it quickly went from 4-0 to 4-2, and could have been 4-3, couldn't it, just as easily? And then it's anybody's as that one comes in. But yeah, Miley's mum in the bee suit, she has got some good moves on her.
There you go, you're getting a view of the bee now.
Yes.
We'll play the rest of the game down that corner, and we'll...
Yeah, there was a few years back, Sophie Games, who used to play for the Queen Bees, the Fire Bees, and the London Capitals. Her mum is called Bee, and she had these antennas, these bee antennas on her head. That was always a good bit of fun as well. So we have their fans at the Queen Bees and the Fire Bees, but yeah, as you're right, Rambo, there is a penalty called. So Beacon's going back on the power play, and it's Bulmer who will sit for 2 minutes. Inside the final 5 minutes of this middle session.
Now, am I right in thinking the under-16s don't have an ice cut in between
No, just at the end of the game, so it should be another 5-minute stoppage after this period.
I thought that, because it's a shorter game. Obviously.
Yeah, they just do it at the beginning and the end of the game, which is nice and useful for myself. Heidi Dunn winds that one up. Forces another save. So that's a cross-checking call, was the penalty. So we're going to face off on the near side circle now, which Evie Tyndale will take. That one comes across rink wide. Heidi Dunn will collect. Both girls being interviewed for local news in the northeast on Tyne Tees ITV, which is worth watching if you want to see. It's been posted to the Beacon's Facebook page if you want to watch it. It's a very good interview with a pair of them, talking about the 3 teams making the playoffs and the fact that they are going to play in a national final, or with a hope they will play in a national final, of course, and bring the title back home. And, well, they're 2 goals to the good at the minute, but still plenty of hockey to go.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's at least 19 minutes of game time left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Whitley at the moment look fairly in control of things, but...
we said that yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we thought that yesterday when they went 4 up, so... I mean, they'll have learned from that yesterday. I don't think that, you know.
Well, as well, although Icebees finished top in the South, Chelmsford have got the experience. That was their 4th straight season at the playoffs, the same as it was for Whitley. But they've been champions for the last 2 years, and players in that team who have been champions over the years, they know how to win games, they know how to win trophies. And, you know, that's important to have in a team, isn't it? And yes, great achievement for the Icebees, but obviously they haven't got the experience of playing in a finals weekend. This is new for them, and it's learning for them, and I'm sure, again, whatever happens today, they'll be back next season because they're a very well-ran club.
Yeah, I mean, the South seems to have quite a lot of good teams in this. As you said, I think, you know.
Well, Chelmsford are saying that they don't really lose many this year, so there's a good chance that they'll be back in the playoffs next year. There we go, there's the beat.
I'll tell you what, that just shows you how high def the camera is. We can see right inside that beast.
Yeah, we can, yeah, that is that is good quality camera work, isn't it? A chance to shout out Matthew, our camera guy, who does an excellent job here each year, who brings his coverage, his quality pictures to your homes, and we are grateful for having him. And he does so well in getting the footage up after the weekend as well onto YouTube, and some of the other events, playoff events, can take weeks to get uploaded, and he does it within a day or two. So fair play to him.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you can go back and obviously watch all the games.
Head first into the boards, wasn't it? Was it Emily Duffy?
Coming together. I hope Emily was okay. That looked a bit gnarly.
Nothing,
nothing in that. It was just a bit of a stumble, but.
Yeah, the pair of them just seemed to squeeze into each other. Neither of them had anywhere to go, and she sort of went head first, which is a worry.
Went off there, and I hope she's. The main thing is that she's okay, and that there's another collision happening.
She's got to the end of the bench, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think you got to take. I mean, you've got to obviously with any kind of head knock, you've got to be careful. So hopefully she's okay, and it's more just a bit of a fright. But
yeah, Poppy Skelton's gone over to check she's okay. She's one of the alternate captains, checking in on her teammate, and she's an important member to the cause, isn't she, Emily Duffy? We get a replay coming up here. This is Duffy on that right wing side. As we said, she's been very prominent in this game so far. We hope she can continue.
It's not really it just kind of almost fell over her opponent who was coming in to mark her.
I don't think her head particularly did hit the board. I think it's more her knee took the brunt of the impact, thankfully, which is, you know, you don't want her to get hurt either way, but you want to always protect the head.
Yeah, I mean, that's needs much more repairable than your head.
Yeah, her father's a doctor, which is also handy to have in the family, isn't it, to keep an eye on her, of course.
Yeah.
And Poppy Skelton in control of the puck now. Eveton across to Skelton. Sent around the board. That's going to be picked off on the far side.
I've told the Whitley fans that it's feedback they should bring a snare, because there's just too much tom drum going on for me. It's too hollow sounding, and
it's so loud in here, isn't it? It really is. I mean, I've got the volume turned right up on my headset just to hear you, Rambo. You're sat like a foot away from me, which will give you an indication of just how loud it is, and almost deafening myself actually when I take the headsets off, because I've got them on so loud. But it might give you an indication back home of how loud it is in here, and trying to hear yourself think.
Yeah, certainly. And it's good to see that Emily has returned after being sort of checked over and stuff. So
yeah, indeed.
Maybe just a bit of a kind of. Sometimes, I mean, you get a knock like that, but you're not expecting it, and it's more the
shock.
The shock of what's happened than any kind of injury. So
yeah, indeed. Duffy controls from the draw, as we were just talking about. It's deflected.
That was one of these ones where you would not have been giving your defenseman a Christmas card there.
No, as a goalie, no, definitely not. No. Deflection, and could have gone anywhere, and it very nearly did. Just flashed wide of the goal, thankfully for the Icebees' sake and for Abigail Ransom. Emily Duffy doing a good job of getting it clear out the corner. Now Rebecca Goldring. Here we go at the other end. That's a good written challenge from Strachan Jones, who's driving towards goal. Gets a shot off Peyton Carnison. It pops up off her chest.
First save she's made in a little while.
Yeah, but it's good that she had one because it just keeps her in it, doesn't it? You don't want her to go too cold.
No, not at all.
But that has been quite a dominant performance in this middle period by the Beacons. Most of the play has been in the ISB zone. That will do it then for the second period.
There's a penalty there late in the period.
I thought there was, yeah.
So I think she's taken 2. I think Strachan Jones and possibly Molly Walker will be sitting to start the period. They'll offset. I think they'll put those on the board.
Yeah, they will, yeah. We're going to take a short break then as everyone's going over to Peyton Carnison. It will be just a 5-minute break, so we'll be back with you very shortly. Please don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sheffield for what is the third and final period of regulation. Beacons currently leading 2-0. There's a slight delay before we get the restart. And Rambo, we've been treated to 2 excellent periods of hockey so far.
Yeah, we really have actually, and it's. I think Whitley are probably good value for the lead, but the Ice Bees have been a good match for them.
Tyndale, she's on a hat-trick now, of course, isn't she?
Yeah.
There's a short 17 seconds in, we'll force the save, and we'll get a face-off inside the Ice Bee zone.
The bee seems to have deflated now.
Yeah, the head's sort of shrinking, isn't it? I think you're right, as Heidi Dunn controls at the high slot. Apologies, folks. I am a little bit out of breath. We had to rush back from what is a very short 5-minute break to try and get some food. Oh, yeah, just flash wide. Miley Fraser, very quick to get on the end of that loose puck, though. Still Fraser lays it off towards Poppy Skelton, but now Ice Bees trying to get it away. Duval, I think it was, Goodall rather, broke the play up. Shot comes in from Dunn, gets a second, Fraser rather, gets a second and third attempt at it. Now to Dunn. Forward to Tyndale, back to Dunn. Shoots, and well blocked by the Ice Bees player there, which was number 75, Wheeler.
They've been kind of in the zone for quite a while now.
Yeah, they have. Which was very similar to the second period. That one comes loose, just out of a reach.
Oh,
good vital clearance.
There, scrambled that away.
Yeah, it was a vital one because it was just out of Abigail Ransom's reach, and the defender just doing what she had to do and blasting it clear. Duffy carries in.
Oh, that looked slightly offside to me, but I think maybe she just got it over the line.
Yeah. That one deflected up. And then it's along the boards. ISB's looking to get the breakout here. Across comes Duffy, and again, that's a little bit like what we saw with Tyndale yesterday. Just the back checking and the work rate. Prepared to do that. That's how games and championships are won. As I suppose we should be thinking about All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, certainly there's a lot of players to consider in there. And then, oh dear, and that's offside there. And, Molly Walker and Strachan Jones are released from captivity after starting a period in the box after a little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of the period. So,
indeed, yeah. As we'll get a face-off just outside of the Beacon zone. Danny Reynolds getting us back underway. Fatchik deflects it back into the Beacon zone. Now carry out now with Holly Smith. Nicely done. That left wing side. Controlled. Oh, by the Beacons there, and then it just flashes wide. And controlled on deep in a defensive position there was Bulmer, who impressed yesterday, didn't she?
Yeah, certainly did.
Heidi Dunn. Still with Tyndale.
Good, trying to marshal there, and it goes back to Dunn.
Yeah, that one just wide. Still, the pressure mounts and builds from the Beacons. That one will be cleared.
All you can do is ice that there, and then has a spill afterwards.
Yeah. So that will bring the face-off back down into the ISB zone, and it's got to be so tough, isn't it, when you, for the vast majority of a game, you are camped in your zone, you're soaking up the pressure, and you've just got to try and maximise those opportunities when you can exit the zone.
Yeah, absolutely, and they need to. Well, that's probably one of the best results they could have had there, because they would have wanted to get a change.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the previous one, of course, was an icing, wasn't it? Well won by Duffy on the draw. Molly Dunn comes across. Work back from Molly Walker to Dunn. Though Grace Riley was very fast skating out of there. Emily Duffy the first one back though to help out. And if she doesn't come away with the All-Star Forward Award, I think she certainly is in contention for Player of the Game in this one. She's put in a really good performance.
Yeah, she certainly has. I think Emily's been really good both ways all across the weekend. It's a tough call. There's still 10 minutes left.
Yeah, there is. Emily Duffy carrying it forward. Wind-up shot, bit high, but worth having a shot from there. Burke's back out the zone, picked off by Catherine Mitchell. Now to Duffy. Brown Parker couldn't quite get around Wheeler though, who did a good job of just shutting off that lane. Inside the final 10 minutes of regulation. Still only a 2-goal game though.
I tell you, this Parker impresses me. He moves really well. It's obviously slightly smaller in stature, but is, getting in about it. Got to be a little bit there, but good recovery as well. So yeah, this is good, solid D from the ISBs.
Yeah, it is, and they've obviously had to defend well because they've had so much pressure in the zone. But it's easier said than done. Just because you are soaking up the pressure doesn't mean that you are defending well. Because they have been, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have.
Get a retake on the draw. And it will stay there. A couple for the seconds did run off the clock. That one will just squeeze past.
Okay, I don't know if you could hear that on the back home, but there was an apology from the liney there with the puck getting stuck in her feet off the face.
Mitchell
That's a
couldn't
really
quite
good stick to get that out of the zone there.
Yeah, just it went past 2 or 3 Beacons players there, went between the lines.
Every time Evie gets a puck now, she just looks so dangerous.
Yeah,
and I think the ISBs are kind of relieved when she goes for a change, even though you're basically, it's like pick your poison, isn't it? And the second line is it's pretty deadly as well.
Yeah, you've either got to deal with Tyndale and Skelton, or you're dealing with Duffy and Goldring.
Yeah.
Plenty of goal scorers there, and then you've got
Molly Walker as
Molly
well.
Walker and Marley Fraser, who work hard.
Yeah, as well.
Brooke Royce as well. If we don't beat you one way, we'll beat you the other. It's pretty much the way it is. But
yeah, that was definitely offside.
Yeah, it was. They've won all 16 regular season games this year, Whitley.
Yeah.
This is game 18 of the season, and they're currently 17-0. They're looking for that perfect season, and they're 8 minutes 15 away from doing so.
And that's not going to help the Ice Bees' cause to upset them with another penalty. That's 2 minutes. Even if they kill it, that's 2 minutes that they'll lose. I mean, of course, they could score a short-handed goal, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah. Tyndale will take the draw then for Whitley. Done.
Oh, that's
come off the skate blade and the base of the post, I think. Tyndale to Skelton.
Oh, that is a brilliant goal. Well worked goal there. What a pass. Nice finish from Poppy Skelton. Well deserved. Well deserved from Poppy Skelton there. The work rate that she puts in.
Yeah, she deserves that. Like I say, from just the way she's played this weekend, the unselfish play that she's had, and all season really. So 3-0 makes it a little bit more comfortable, but still with nearly 8 minutes left, the game can change very quickly.
Yeah, that, you know, well, as I say, we're now in this time where Carnson, I think, has had one shot in the last maybe 15 minutes or so of game time. So if the Ice Bees can get some pressure, they might get some joy, but because that's not easy for a goalie to just suddenly be under pressure after essentially not facing much. But if Whitley keeps cycling like this, the Ice Bees are going to start. Oh, and Royce, was trying to feed Royce there and couldn't get him off. So.
Well, forgot to mention yesterday was after the semi-final, I noticed Olivia Bath was down outside the dressing room congratulating what were her teammates last year, which was a nice touch. She's back over from Canada or America at the moment. No, it is Canada, I think she went to. But it's nice to see that she'd come to support her old teammates. Had she not gone to North America, she would have been playing here today. So, yeah, nice touch, I thought.
Yeah, certainly, and. She's a very, very strong player. I think she's played GB18s now. She's GB18 cap.
Yeah.
And that's an important save for Garnson there, because, as I say, these shots get trickier and trickier the longer you wait on them. So.
Indeed, yeah. That one's cleared. It's picked off by a Firebees player on the far side. Is it Wheeler? Yeah, it is. Mitchell just closes her off. And we've got a nice in cool.
And another we're having to come back on.
Face off over on the far side. Drew by Duffy. Big slap shot from Molly Walker.
That set play again, they set up every time when they go that way.
Yeah.
So teammates all three of these teammates at Solway as well. Molly Walker's down nice, a little long, and then gets up. There was an ice there. I don't quite see what happened. I saw her lying on the ice for a wee second longer than you would maybe expect, but
gonna face off back in the ISB zone then. 6:07 to go. Duffy to take the draw. It's Wheeler who's going to take the draw. ISB's looking to break out here. Nice challenge by Walker. Oh, no, they're going to call a penalty. I thought she squeezed her off to try and ultimately stop her, but I think they're going to deem that it was a little bit overly aggressive, and it's she is taking a while to get back up, which isn't nice to see, of course.
There's a discussion going on here from the officials, and she seems okay. Thank goodness she's up, and that's
the main thing.
More important than what the call is actually.
I'm going to replay a bit here actually. Just behind Walker is, but Walker just seems to step up. It's a trip. It is a trip.
I think there's a bit of a foot catches her as well.
I don't think it was overly malicious. It was just
quite clumsy, to be honest with you, rather than anything else.
You're right. Yeah. So, ISBs go on the power play then. And it's India Bryan who comes out with it. Slashing was the call. So, like you say, the call in essence is irrelevant. But thankfully the play was okay.
Yeah.
But it looked like a trip to me, really, more than anything.
As I say, I think the foot maybe caught her, which made her go down harder, but it was kind of just more clumsy and
yes, that's right. Yeah.
in the back check than anything else.
Well, yeah. That one's dumped in.
She'll sit for 2 and feel shame anyway. So there's people that I've just aged myself. There's people that not watch Slapshot that won't get that reference. But anyway,
if someone's a hockey fan and have not watched Slapshot, then they're not a hockey fan. Oh. In my opinion, that one is saved by Abigail Ransom. But when that quote you said there, I can't resist not then going into a French-Canadian accent of Denis Lemieux. You are stupid when you do that. Just some English pig with no brain. Which is fine, because I'm English and I can say that. We are getting a face-off.
I'll leave that to the viewers at home to decide if you can say that.
Yes, indeed. We have 1:01 left on the penalty. There is a timeout called.
I've just realised their coach has like a tiara.
Yeah, that's...
he's probably not thanking us for this close-up right now. He's also got glitter on his face.
Yeah, that's Aid. That's the pitfalls of coaching a team full of...
Over there. And
for the teenage
Steph,
girls,
for a moment there, was frozen in the YMCA pose, just as they went to her. So we're catching these coaches not realising they're on camera here.
Looking remarkably fresh after yesterday's disappointment and post-game drinks, I'd imagine they had yesterday.
The Whitley Bay Beacons girls go for drinks? I don't think so.
No, surely not.
No,
I don't think so. But Sheffield is a great city, and it is worth checking out if you're here for a night out. I've had many a good night here, certainly my student days. I love to come in here for nights out. Not sure I'm quite up to it these days.
Lots of hockey weekends and nights out after hockey weekends. So yeah, it's for hockey players, it's certainly a place that they end up going out quite a lot. And near Strachan Jones, you have to say that she's been one of the big threats in the ISBs. Obviously, the goal yesterday that clinched it.
Indeed.
But Whitley are relentless today. It's
yeah, here comes Sophia Facic. That one comes in, covered up by Peyton Carnison. She thought about releasing it, but then thought, no, it's not worth the risk. And it certainly isn't. Protect the 3-goal lead. Allow your team to reset from the face-off. And only 17 seconds left on this ISB's power play as well. Which is worth remembering. They do have the player advantage. Comes across to Rose Wilson, who played it out. She's another one of the defenders who's aging out. Here comes Tyndale, and she's on a hat-trick.
Oh, that's a good back check from Riley there.
Grace Riley.
Riley, of course, you're talking about back-to-back games. Riley will be playing in the next game.
Yeah, she will, yeah.
The Elite League final.
Talking to Louise Adams in the last game, and I said, how do you manage that when you've got so many players playing multiple games for multiple teams across this weekend? And she said, yeah, we do have to obviously monitor their minutes and factor that in, and you know, it just adds a different sort of element to it that you have to consider, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think Louise, I was speaking to Louise earlier on, and obviously, unfortunately, not able to play this weekend, but she was saying that she doesn't know how they do it.
No.
And sort of said, I don't think I could do it. And I was like, well, you probably could have when you were when you were 15 years old.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, it is. Once you approach 30, it does change, doesn't it? Your body does start to slow down its metabolism and whatnot. Because that one's dumped in. Heidi Dunn. It's yeah, the wonders of youth, isn't it? You have energy back then. It's seeing my kids do the things they do now. It's yeah, I'm sure I could have done it back at one stage of my life, but certainly not now. That one's dumped in. Heidi Larter. It's good to see some of the players who haven't had many minutes across this weekend starting to get some shifts.
Yeah, it is. I think it would take something monumental now for the Ice Bees to recover from here. And
off the crossbar from Duffy, but yeah, Abby Larter getting a shift alongside her and Molly Walker.
A lot of noise from the beacons.
Yeah, and the Bee still standing. They still have an outside chance here. And here comes Strachan Jones. Can she make it a 2-goal game? That's a big save by Peyton Carnison.
Oh no! She's up again.
And then a glove save there from Carnison once again, and inside the final 2 minutes.
And I'd just like to take a moment, I know the personal moment. Oh, but there's a replay. We'll take the replay first, and then it's a lovely save here, and then she loses an edge, goes in the board, gets up pretty quickly, and then the second chance. But yeah, just a moment. If my wife is tuned into this game, knowing that I was on the call, and the dogs are watching. So Bernie, Blaze, hello, good boy, good girl. And then now that they're jumping at the TV, I will look forward to get my divorce papers. So
I was going to say, you're going to be popular when you get home.
I almost forgot to do that.
You're on your own on that one. I'm not having any part of that. Ice Bees will carry out then inside the final 90 seconds. It's time is running out for them. Good work from Tyndale to force a turnover right in a deep position there. That's,
well, that's good by.
Yeah, the whistle there.
There's a penalty for that. I thought that was just good physical play. I didn't think that was overly zealous. But
no, we'll see if we get a replay on that. It didn't seem obvious enough to me. Quite ironic, really, that Katie Fairclough is the referee in actual fact and calling someone for overly physical play. As Riley will sit then and almost certainly sit out the final few seconds of his game unless Beacons do convert.
Ice Bees number 73, Grace Riley.
Back to Heidi Dunn. It comes off Tyndale, I think, of the Goldring rather, of all people. Bit of pushing and shoving going in there. Goldring trying to get a bit of space for herself, whereas it's Strachan Jones who's back there trying to create a bit of space. Down to the final 40 seconds. It's been a long journey for Whitley Bay. They started the club 5 years ago. This is their 4th year that they've made the playoffs. The first year they were just happy to get here. They got beat off the stacked Swindon Top Kitten side with the likes of Nora Egri and Lily Endicott in that team, and Amelia Williams. Then 2 years ago, they weren't quite ready yet. They lost to a strong Haringey Hounds team or London Capitals team. Last year, it was heartbreak for them when they lost in sudden death overtime to the reigning champions, the Chelmsford Rattlesnakes. But you can forget all that now, because the Whitley Bay Beacons are your under-16 champions.
And look at what it means to those players. I mean, Emily Duffy has skated her heart out this weekend, but probably that's the fastest she's skated to that pile. It means so much to all the players. A massive big win. The ones that have been through this for the last 2 or 3 years have not quite made it.
Yeah, it's a remarkable story. You're right, that is Kerry Dunn with this squid on her head. It's Evie's moment and Heidi's auntie. She's always up for a bit of a laugh. She took a cowbell down to Guildford, I think, towards the end of last season. And look, let's pay respects to Icebees as well. They never made it easy for Whitley. It says 3-0 on the scoreline. It was very close. Yes, Whitley had a lot of possession, but they made it so difficult to score against. They defended so well. Abigail Ransom, for me, probably should get All-Star goalie of the tournament simply because of the way she kept her team in it today.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it would have been a close call for me between her and Violet Lennon, but what she's put on tape today, and that's taken away nothing from Lilith Wright or Peyton Garnison.
No.
But I think yesterday it could have been slightly more than 1-0, and Violet Lennon was awesome. But as I say, I think Abigail Ransom was superb today for them. So they've got to be pleased with that, and pleased with the game today.
Well, as always, we are going to stay on air. We'll give you the Player of the Game awards first of all for this game. There will be the All-Star awards, I believe, will follow for goalie, defender, and forward. And then it should end with the Whitley Bay Beacons being presented with their championship trophy and medals. But Rambo, before all that starts, thoughts on this particular game and who impressed you? Who do you think should be player of the game for each side?
I think this game was it was 3-0 to Whitley. I think at the start of the game, the Icebees probably gave them a bit more pressure, but I think towards the end, Whitley sort of their experience of being in these games now. Obviously, they've got players playing in the Elite League and stuff playing in this under-16s team. I think that just gave them too much, and the Icebees at the end didn't quite have enough to get over the line and get back into the game. And ultimately, it was a terrific game of hockey. But I think Whitley are the deserved winners in it.
Yeah.
I think today, Evie Tyndale showed just that touch of class of when it was a bit nervy and things, she just settled things down. She got
come up with the big goals at the right moment,
and also 3 points and 3 goals. For the team. So I think for me, she just showed that touch of class. And then yesterday was different. She didn't score, but she had all those back checks and stuff. So I think just overall, just that class, that experience, and coming up with a big plays when they're needed. So. I think Emily Duffy's obviously a tremendous talent on this team, but I think Evie would just pip her for me over the course of the weekend. And defence is quite hard to pick. I think both teams are very good. I thought Parker was really good for the Icebees, and I think there was
Bulmer as well yesterday.
Bulmer as well, both really good days. So I think the Icebees, probably I would lean towards Bulmer.
Well, it's got MVP or player of the game for today has gone to Abigail Ransom. I don't think you can argue with that on today's performance.
She was excellent today. Whitley had a lot of chances, and that double save she made on Emily Duffy was incredible.
It certainly was. Next will be the Beacons player of the game, and then as I say, next after that will be the All-Star announcements. Heidi Dunn, captain.
She was very solid throughout the game.
Well, she was, and so composed, good leadership. Sometimes her cousin Evie gets the headlines, of course, for all the goals and points which she's going to get, but Heidi is equally as gifted. And I think has been an excellent captain these last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hand over to Faye Andrews.
So congratulations to both teams for getting to the final. Also, just congratulations for being so good at hockey, everyone. What? Like, this is so, I say this every year, but this is so encouraging that we've got so many talented young players coming through the system and being developed by the clubs. And if this is what we've got on offer, then the future is very bright. So we're going to move on to our All-Star Awards. So our under-16s girls All-Star Forward, the tournament.
So the All-Star Forward goes to Evie Tyndale of the Beacons.
As I say, I think Emily Duffy would have been a close second there, but
Indeed,
I think
just because of his performance in the final and goals that she scored. But yeah, yesterday Emily was immense, and I think while she didn't score today, again, her other contributions today were important, weren't they?
Yeah,
moving on to our All-Star Best Defence.
And for defender
goes to Holly Smith.
Goes to Holly Smith. And that's a popular pick, isn't it? Because a big cheer from the crowd, and she's got a bright future in the game, and I believe she will be the Beacons captain next season on this 16s team, because she's one of the few who isn't aging out, and I think she'd be a natural good captain, wouldn't she? And for the goalie, Abigail Ransom.
I don't think you can argue with any of those selections. I think Holly Smith is very assured in that goal line.
But it's kind of nice that Heidi's got player of the game.
Yeah, it just
for this one, and then Holly, who's the other standout D, has come away with the All-Star. It's quite nice. However, everyone's got some sort of award, haven't they?
For our player champions to come forward and collect their hats.
So now the hats, which are a different colour to the championship, the championship ones are black. These are a sort of pinky magenta colour, aren't they?
I think hot pink is what most people would call it.
Hot pink, raspberry.
I know you're trying to make
raspberry explosion. But yes. Anyway, they're collecting their caps and medals.
They're the same colour as Bubblicious.
Okay.
Hubba Bubba, sorry, Hubba Bubba,
yeah,
not
yeah,
Bubblicious. I don't know where I got Bubblicious.
Isn't that
the 16s don't take their helmets off for these presentations in general, so they've so some of them trying to put the hats on their helmet, which is quite interesting.
But not in numerical order again. It's a bit of a free-for-all.
I think.
But now we find the trophy.
Not individually announcing all the players in these ones. Perhaps due to time constraints a little bit.
Yeah, here we go. So Heidi Kuhn is being presented with a trophy. There's a chance for her now to take it to her team. They've waited long and hard for this. This is more than makes up from last season. The Whitley Bay Beacons are your under-16s champions, and it is the fitting ending to what has been a remarkable journey for this particular group of players, Rambo.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, commiserations to the Ice Bees. That was a good final, and it's Faye. I don't know if you could hear her back at home. She quite rightly said the future is bright. We've got, under-16s players playing at that level.
Yeah.
We know the future of the game is bright, and the Ice Bees are heading off.
Yeah.
The Ice
To
Bees.
thank their fans over in the corner.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. Yeah. We are going to leave you with these pictures in the background then, and the celebrations. So I'm going to try and grab some interviews before the next game starts. But I hope you all enjoyed our first final of the weekend. Rambo, thank you for calling that one with me. And here's to an exciting next final.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you come back for the elite final, guys. Thank you very much for having me. And thank you to Adam for inviting me up here.
Pleasure as always, Rambo. We will see you very shortly. Please don't go anywhere.